Mesh tape, to embed or not to embed. Hey, there's some misconception out there about whether you need to embed this. I'm going to talk about that right after this. Hey, lately with nearly 100,000 subscribers, I read a lot of your comments, pretty much 99% of them, and I'm hearing a lot of comments about embedding mesh tape. There's a lot of you that think you have to embed the mesh tape. I recently read this comment that said the manufacturer even recommends that you embed the mesh tape. Well, first of all, I'm going to talk about that, and we're going to go right to the source. We're going to go to the website for mesh tape and talk about what they say. Now, I'm one that tends to read instructions. I know, don't hate me for it, but no, I do. The first time I opened up a roll of mesh tape, it had a paper label on it, and I read it, and guess what it said? It said, stick the tape to the wall and then apply a coat of setting type joint compound over it. Here's the information from their website. I went to two different websites, USG and Saint-Gobain. They're two of the biggest suppliers of mesh tape, and they both say the same thing. So there's two myths there, and there's two misconceptions. One is most often with novices, in that they don't know that this has to be coated with a fast setting joint compound, which we always call hot mud. And hey, by the way, if you like these kind of teaching videos, be sure and subscribe and hit that bell icon. That way you don't miss any of my other videos. So let me go over what they say is the correct way to do it. And if you guys have any comments or thoughts about it, go ahead and comment down below. I welcome your discussion as long as it's polite. So the basic rule is to stick the mesh tape to the wall and press it down firmly. You want it stuck everywhere. You don't want a section where it's a little bit loose. You can see I've got it stuck good there. And then use fast setting compound like in this picture and apply a coat over it. Now this is regular all purpose, but for demonstration purposes, we're just gonna pretend this is regular, or not regular, but fast setting joint compound. Okay, and then you would just wanna, you might want to feather it like so, depends what you're doing, recessed or butt joint. And then just leave a decent little coat on it. You want just enough to where the mesh tape is barely peeking through. If you wipe it too tight like that, that's too tight. If you have it so heavy like this, that's too heavy. You can't see the mesh tape popping through at all. That's too heavy. You're going to end up having to sand it down. You're trying to just barely cover your mesh tape. For those that don't know, I've done drywall over 36 years. I actually started 52 years ago when I was 8 years old. I'll be 60 in June. And in that time, I've got 36 years of hands-on experience because I've been out in the military for a while and things like that. And about 17 years ago, 17 to 20, I got into patch and repair. A company hired me on as his patch and repair guy. He had a crew of about 50 guys, and about 8 or 10 of us were patch and repair. So in that time, I started my own business about 17 years ago, and I've put on probably 500 rolls of mesh tape, at least, I don't know, because I've done nothing but repairs for 17 years. So you do a lot of mesh tape. And in that time, I've only had a couple of callbacks, and every time it was my fault. Like one time I actually had no hot mud with me, so I tried using regular joint compound. It failed on me, proof that you can't do that. And I took care of it. Another time it was because I was repairing a bad crack, and there was 90 feet of cracks in this house, and I forgot to screw off the joist on this one section, and I knew I did that. But by the time I realized it, it was too late. That section cracked. Well, I was coming back the next week to do something else anyway. I just fixed it then, took care of it, never cracked again. I also came back about 3 years later to do a bunch more work for them, and none of those 100-foot of cracks, 90 to 100 feet of cracks ever cracked again. So if you do it right, it works. Will it hurt to embed it? Probably not, but I think you're hurting yourself on time because it's so easy to just stick it on, especially with this thing. I know that when I'm doing a lot, I can run this thing out, stick it on a little bit, run it down, and saves a lot of time. That quick, I'm ready to go ahead and put a coat of mud on this. So by the time you get it to this stage, it's kind of like paper tape plus one coat, because you've bedded it just by sticking it. You put one coat on it, you've got basically paper tape plus one coat, so it saves time, and you don't need to go through that messy process of trying to bed it, put the mud on, then stick the joint tape in, the mesh tape. Hey everybody, I'm going to be having a huge 100,000 subscriber giveaway with tons of great tools and gifts. Here's some examples right here. Now some of these are locked in, like from level 5. Others are subject to change as I'm still negotiating with some of these and determining what we'll give away. But be sure and subscribe and be watching for that announcement video soon. So that's just my take on it. I've had great experience doing this, so it works really well. Let me know what your experience is down below and your thoughts. And as always, I welcome your comments. And you see these other videos popping up right here. If these help you out, click on one, go check it out. Be sure and leave us a thumbs up, and I'll see you on the next video, everybody. Take care.